Hello, my name's Clay Burell, and I am going to walk any interested teachers through the process of explaining the 1001 Flat World Tales wiki-based collaborative world writing workshop that had students, 130 students roughly, in Hawaii, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, Arapahoe, Littleton / Denver, Colorado, USA, in the middle of the Rocky Mountains, and students in my classrooms in Seoul, South Korea, in Far East Asia. So the 1001 Flat World Tales project was based on Wikispaces. There's the address, burell9english.wikispaces.com. By the way, I regret putting my name in there. I had no idea that it would become as large and shared as it was, but you live and learn. What is the 1001 Flat World Tales? Well, as I said, it's a writing workshop that 3 schools participated in. Students wrote using the 6 traits plus 1 for effective writing, and used the writing process where they drafted trait by trait over a series of weeks, and then they did it all on this wiki, and then they gave feedback based on the 6 traits week by week. So the first week, students in Colorado and Hawaii and Seoul gave feedback to each other on ideas. The second week they gave feedback on organization, and they revised every week. And so that's how that worked. So this is the home page, and you see we have our little time clock of the different times, because you got to learn to navigate flat world time. It's not easy. The next page is the frame story itself. Save your country from the alien king. This was based on the 1001 Tales, otherwise known as the Arabian Nights, and as you probably know, it's the story of Scheherazade telling stories every night to the king of Iran to prevent him from beheading yet another virgin because he was heartbroken over his wife's betrayal. So students created a different frame story, 21st century, where you've got an alien race who comes to Earth, and they happen to like good stories, and they decide that they're going to incinerate every country that cannot tell a good story. So just like Scheherazade's life depended on her storytelling, so too here do each country's existence depend on their storytelling. So our goal really is to have this reach 1001 tales from across the world. And this is the first workshop in the high school. A second workshop happened between Serbia, Australia, and China. It didn't work because of scheduling things. So we're still learning, but it's open year after year. There was an elementary school workshop between Dominican Republic and Missouri and Pennsylvania. So you're welcome to come, by the way, and to do that, just go to this link here, 1001 Teachers, sign up, and just read. You'll figure it out. So okay, so that's the frame story. Next, there's also the sort of the assignment itself, the project itself described, and then the next link is the frequently asked questions. You can see what people around the internet have said about the project, that sort of thing. There's been a lot of support. And then finally, the student stories page for the first high school workshop. So let's go to that. All right, here it is. The student page. How do students write on a wiki from 3 different countries or time zones? The way we set it up was to make 3 columns. 1, Korea, 2, Colorado, and then because Colorado had more students than Korea and Hawaii did, Colorado spills over into the 3rd column. But you see that Hawaiian students make up the bottom of that column. So each student simply has a page. This is Kelly's page. Actually, let's look at Sharon's page. So this is Sharon's page, and this is where she wrote her story. And you see that that's her story. And then you see that, oh, that's still her story. And then you've got her previous drafts there. It's not quite the way it's supposed to work, but and when you go to history, you'll see how many different edits she did of this story. You can see that Sharon worked on this story along with her peer editors. There's Travis in one of the other countries, and Alyssa. So these are her peer editors. So Sharon revised and worked on this 50 times. Okay, you can compare by hitting select of any two documents. You can compare the revisions that students made. So that's Sharon's story. That's how the students worked. Back to the main student page, a question you might have is, well, how did you set up the peer feedback, peer editing, peer revision process? Through trial and error, what we finally came up with was, for example, Kelly here, the first week he would simply give feedback to the two students in his flat classroom schools in the same row as him. So that would be week 1. Do the students in the same row as you. Week 2, simply do the students in the row beneath you, the second row down. In the other schools. Week 3, you would just go down, and week 4, and so forth. That way students get to see different writing styles and that sort of thing. They don't get bored of giving feedback on the same story over and over. So that's how that worked. And again, for teachers that want to get involved in this, there is a 1001teachers.wikispaces.com. Just come in and request membership, and you'll find other teachers to schedule your own writing workshop with. You might want to know how the teachers actually worked on coordinating all this stuff, and we did it simply by email. There's Chris and Michelle and me emailing on Skype. We also had our student publishers, editors and publishers, emailing with us. So that's how we communicated. That's one way. We also use Skype to talk occasionally. Now, my task today, because the 1001 Tales wiki itself is not the publication, that's just the workshop. Call it, consider it your workroom. Student editors were interviewed and selected to go through all the stories and submit the ones that they thought were worthy of publishing in the 1001 Flat World Tales book to the teachers. So we are going to publish those selected stories in 2 places. First, we're going to put them all on one blog. And to do that, we need to go to, you can go to many places. You could go to Blogger, Edublogs, whatever. Chris Watson in Hawaii wanted to do Edublogs, so it's simple enough to do that. You just sign up, and then you put the name of your website there, and your title, and you create your blog. I've already done that, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to the Flat World Tales. Now, Chris has already done that in an Edublog that he made that looks like this. Unfortunately, he named it 1001 Flat World Stories, and so I'm going to just do the Flat World Tales instead. So just to show you, this is a brand new blog. We haven't done anything with it. Look how easy it is to make it pretty. You click Site Admin. That takes you to the dashboard. We'll go to Presentation to select a theme. And I'll just go ahead and choose the theme that Chris already chose. If I can find it. And there it is. So I clicked on that. Let's see what sort of widgets we want to put in the sidebar. We're going to want pages. Where's pages? You just drag the little things that you want in the sidebar. Put recent comments on there. And that's enough for right now. We can always go back and add or change it later. Save changes, and you view site. And you can see now that we've got that there. So I'm going to pause right now, and I'm just going to start copying and pasting the students'